Siege here once again, Wildlife Builders, and for this video we are going to talk about Akali. Akali strikes in silence, with a message loud and clear. Fear the assassin with no master. Akali is a mobile burst damage assassin who is great at both killing a champion fast and at doing extended 1v1 trades. She has a lot of ability which makes her great at killing enemies one by going in and out of sight. Now for Akali's abilities. Her passive is Assassin's Mark. Akali's active abilities reveals the ring when it hits an enemy. Moving towards the ring grants Akali bonus movement speed, and crossing the ring grants Akali bonus damage, movement speed when moving towards enemy champions, attack range, and restores her energy. Activating Assassin's Mark and utilizing it consistently well is one of the biggest difference between a good Akali player and a newbie. Remember to auto-attack between casting abilities to utilize your passive. It is often better to move out than in the ring to activate your passive instead of simply auto-attacking. Her first ability is 5-point Mark. It is a spammable poke ability which you are going to use to last hit, harass enemies, and activate your passive with. It deals magic damage and slows down enemies hit by it at its maximum range. You can instantly activate your passive using 5-point Mark if you hit the enemy champion with the very edge of this ability. 5-point Mark is an essential part of Akali's combos because you can activate it during the animation of both casts of Shuriken Flip. Next is Twilight Shroud. This is Akali's main outplay tool, and it is the main thing that allows her to move around in the thick of a team fight in which she is otherwise vulnerable. Akali immediately gains energy, then she becomes invisible inside the cloud and she gains movement speed bonus. The cloud expands as a ring over its duration. Never cast it at the start of a team fight unless you are targeted by a strong ability or crowd control such as Fizz's Charm of the Water or Vi's Assault and Battery. Akali's third ability is Shuriken Flip. This is Akali's main mobility tool. This ability can be casted twice. In the first cast, Akali throws a shuriken forward while she does a backflip at the same time. The shuriken marks the first enemy it hits, and when Shuriken Flip is recasted, Akali dashes to the marked target. The first cast of Shuriken Flip is a double-edged sword because if you are going for a kill but miss the first cast, you will be too far away from your target and your prey will most likely survive your assassination attempt. If you are not confident on landing this ability and you are too far away, you can cast it backwards so you will do the flip towards the enemy and you can proceed to either use Q, 5-point strike, or your ultimate perfect execution to engage on the enemy. And as a bonus, if you do this and land the shuriken into a minion or jungle monster, you can recast this ability to get back to safety after killing or damaging the enemy with your combo. You can follow a teleporting enemy using this ability. The second cast of Shuriken Flip can be used even if the enemy is a whole map away. You can use your 5-point strike during the animation of both casts of Shuriken Flip. Shuriken Flip is a good way to deal damage using your passive as it automatically activates it. But think twice about the position of the marked enemy because you might land in a dangerous position and be killed instead. If you are unsure, simply let the ability to go on cooldown instead. Last but not least is Akali's ultimate Perfect Execution. It is a 2-part dash execution ability. The first cast is a physical damage targeted dash ability. You can only use the ability by targeting an enemy champion, but will still damage all enemies you pass through with it. The first part of Perfect Execution will land you behind the original position of your target, and it will always activate your passive unless the enemy is pressed against the wall. Then the second part of the ability is a magical damage execution dash ability. You can use the second part of Perfect Execution by targeting a selected area and it will damage all enemies it will pass through, and the damage that you will deal can increase up to 3 times the normal amount based on the enemy's missing health. You can use the ability to escape, but of course it is a waste because of its long cooldown. Now for the good part, Akali's Combos. By the way, these are just some example of Akali's Combos and this is a non-exhausted list. You can do so much with Akali's abilities. Without further ado, this is her first basic combo. It is simply the 5-point strike, walk, and auto-attack. Getting the pace of the 5-point strike auto-attack combo is important for her other combos because the damage from your 5-point strike plus passive is a huge chunk of your total damage. Next is her zoning trade combo, which you can use to force the enemy to back away while you can safely disengage. You can do this by using Shuriken Flip into a minion, so you'll be propelled forward while marking a minion. Attempt the basic combo, then use Shuriken Flip again to disengage. Next is Akali's full combo without her ultimate. 5-point strike, auto attack, shuriken flip, recast, 5-point strike, auto attack, 5-point strike, auto attack. Next is her full combo including her ultimate. Initiate with her ultimate, perfect execution. Then throw a 5-point strike, auto attack, use shuriken flip, recast, 5-point strike and auto attack, then finish with a second cast of perfect execution. Even tank champions will be having a hard time surviving her full combo. Lastly, her burst damage combo, which is perfect for killing squishy champions quickly. This is a combo I recommend that beginners should immediately learn. Cast perfect execution, then immediately throw a shuriken flip. Wait for the second cast of perfect execution to be available, then recast shuriken flip, and then recast perfect execution. Once you get comfortable with this burst damage combo, add in some 5-point strikes and auto attacks. For Akali's items, Hextech Gunblade is perfect with Akali. It grants her hybrid damage and dual vamp, which is perfect for Akali, which deals and scales on both AD and AP stat. This also has a passive which deals bonus damage and slows down the enemy. Next is Infinity Orb, which grants all your abilities bonus critical damage on low HP enemies. This item increases your execution potential by a great deal. For her boots, we should get Ionian Boots of Lucidity. It decreases all your abilities cooldowns as you are reliant on them. Upgrade with a Stasis enchant to counter burst damage champion or to buy time while your abilities are on cooldown. Next is Rabadon's Stat Cap, which provides the highest AP stat among all items in Wild Rift. This will spike your damage output and enable you to kill enemies even with your incomplete combo. Lichbane is an additional component for your burst damage from the Spellblade passive of that item, but you can opt to buy Leander's Torment instead if you are facing a lot of high HP champions. Finally, buy Void Staff to increase your damage against enemies who build magic resist against you. For Akali's runes, her Keystone rune is Electrocute. It grants bonus damage when doing combos, which increases your burst damage potential. But you can also buy Conqueror if you are going to build Leander's Torment, and you are going to do that only if you are facing a lot of tanks. Next is Brutal for the flat damage bonus and penetration bonus, and then get Spirit Walker for the slow resistance or Hunter Titan for the crowd control resistance. Finally, get Sweet Tooth for the small gold bonus and increased healing when eating honey fruits, which can be useful if you are facing a tough lane. But go for Hunter Genius instead if you are confident about your matchup for the bonus ability haste on unique takedowns. That's all for this video, Wild Rift Builders. For the in-depth Akali text guide, visit our website lolwildriftbuild.com. Thanks for helping us reach 250 subscribers. Help us reach 1000 subscribers by participating in our skin giveaway. The text guide and the skin giveaway link are in the description below. Until next time!